He had already buried his son once. This time he would bury the heavens, in the silent expanse between stars, where thunder still trembled from a shattered world and the scent of burned origin energy lingered in the void. Wang Lin stood alone, his black hair drifting as if stirred by an unseen fate. The man who had defied the heavens now carried no grief upon his face, no fury in his eyes, only clarity. For in a single lifetime he had watched his child die twice, once to fate and once to love. And somewhere between those two deaths, something within him had quietly transcended reincarnation. The stars did not know it yet. But from this moment onward, the heavens would no longer stand unchallenged. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. Thunder Daoist's eyes flared with a sudden searing brilliance. For the first time he invoked an ocular spell, his gaze falling squarely upon Wang Ping. Beneath that stare, Wang Ping felt a chill seep into his bones. It was as though his flesh had turned transparent, as though every secret hidden within him had been laid bare beneath that merciless scrutiny. Wang Lin's power had already crossed Thunder Daoist's bottom line. Unless driven to the brink, he was unwilling to draw upon an origin energy spell. Origin energy was far too scarce, far too precious to squander lightly. With his cultivation, only a true crisis of life and death would compel him to use it. Each time he expended origin energy, the chains of the illusory yin stage would bind him longer. Should he fail to break through within 1,000 years, his path of cultivation would freeze forever, condemned to stagnation. He had fewer than 300 years remaining. He could not afford recklessness. What he feared most was Wang Lin's thunder. Through careful deduction, Thunder Daoist concluded that the thunder must be intertwined with the man's domain. If he could shatter that domain, perhaps victory could be seized without resorting to origin energy. "Let this old man look once more," he sneered. "So it is merely a resentful soul." I wondered what trick was at play. How could a mortal resist my divine sense? I first suspected the puppet, but it seems I was mistaken. His laughter carried a trace of malice. Yet in the next breath his pupils constricted violently. His words died mid-sentence. The gaze he cast upon Wang Ping transformed malice, dissolving into naked terror. This is sword energy. Such sword energy is too terrifying." He gasped sharply, his scalp tingling with dread as he staggered back. The spell he had just cast allowed him to glimpse the truth, two streaks of sword energy slumbering within Wang Ping's body. Madman. This person is a madman. He dared to forge flesh for a mere soul fragment, using such sword energy. This old man cannot fight this battle. I must retreat at once. His body trembled. Without the slightest hesitation, he fled toward the Thunder Beast. Those two strands of sword energy had utterly shattered his resolve. Wang Ping remained silent, staring at his father's retreating figure. For a long time he did not speak. His thoughts churned like a dark sea beneath a still surface. Wang Lin's eyes were bloodshot as he watched Thunder Daoist attempt to escape. Had Ling Tianho's sword energies still resided within him, he would have unleashed them without restraint and annihilated the man on the spot. Instead, he acted without hesitation. His hand swept downward in a decisive arc. A portion of origin energy, fused with his origin soul, flowed into the sword. As Thunder Daoist retreated, his expression changed yet again. A terrifying aura descended from the heavens, pressing down upon him with the weight of fate itself. Origin energy spell. How can you use an origin energy spell? A suffocating sense of life and death crisis flooded his heart. He was inferior to the Huan family's ancestor. That ancestor had once stood at the early stage of Nirvana Scrya. Even after his fall in cultivation, he remained far beyond ordinary yin-yang cultivators. Driven by mortal peril, Thunder Daoist raised a finger and pressed it between his brows. His eyes emitted a gentle white radiance within which shimmered a wisp of world origin energy. In an instant, origin energy surged from within his body and erupted from the crown of his head. The planet trembled. A faint, immeasurable aura seeped into heaven and earth. Thunder Daoist's face turned deathly pale. Clearly invoking an origin energy spell exacted a grievous toll. Origin energy thunder furnace. More origin energy streamed from the top of his head, and the world changed. This was no illusion. The sky slowly descended, as though pressed down by an unseen hand. All things began to sink. The earth rose to meet it. Rumbling thundered in every direction as the ground beneath Thunder Daoist convulsed violently. In the span of a single breath, heaven and earth reversed and fused. There was no longer sky, no longer land, only a colossal azure furnace. The heavens became its lid. The earth became its body. The world itself had been transformed into a furnace. This was an origin energy spell. At that very moment, the thunder beast of the Thunder Celestial Temple released a deafening roar. Dragging its wounded body, it transformed into a bolt of lightning and slammed onto the furnace's surface. Upon the once blank expanse, countless carvings gradually surfaced. They were the likenesses of the Thunder Beast. Shumu Thunder Daoist's voice boomed vast, as celestial might reverberating within the furnace world. This is this old man's origin energy spell. Let us see which of us survives. Thunder roared within the boundless furnace. Endless lightning erupted across this sealed world. The furnace roared like a divine crucible, beginning to refine everything trapped inside as bolts of thunder multiplied without end. Wang Lin's sword fell. A strange aura suffused the furnace, an aura infused with the very laws of the world. What his blade sought to sever was not flesh nor metal, but the law itself. Lightning bolts descended relentlessly upon him. This thunder was not born of heaven, it was born of Thunder Daoist's Tao. Within each bolt lay his will, his comprehension. When the heavenly chop descended, the furnace turned illusory in Wang Lin's eyes. Strands of azure threads intertwined throughout the void. It was these threads that formed the furnace's structure. The blade cleaved downward. The blue strands shattered in rapid succession. A muffled groan echoed from the world itself, Thunder Daoist's voice. Simultaneously, even more origin energy surged from his body, desperately maintaining the furnace's integrity. Yet the assault did not cease. More Dao thunder fell. Each bolt that struck Wang Lin caused his body to tremble violently. Had his origin soul not undergone transformation, this torrential storm of Dao thunder would have erased him from existence without leaving even ash behind. His eyes grew colder still. Within the furnace, the celestial guard puppet moved. It raised its fists and struck like a mad god, unleashing a frenzy of blows that battered the surrounding world. Each punch shook the furnace violently, making the entire realm quiver. Though the thunder here was terrifying, the puppet's flesh was even more indestructible. The lightning could not harm it in the slightest. Every strike it delivered was equivalent to the full power of an illusory yin cultivator, and each blow landed squarely upon the furnace. This was the greatest threat to Thunder Daoist. As if in answer, the Thunder Beast roared again. Its body radiated blinding light. From its silver horn emerged a sliver of gold, and from its form burst forth countless thunderbolts that spread across the furnace world. The thunder crashed and detonated in endless succession, shaking the furnace to its core. Thunder Daoist's muffled groan echoed once more as yet another torrent of origin energy poured from his body into the massive furnace. Refined for this old man, a hideous voice reverberated through the heavens. The instant the Dao thunder descended within the furnace, a wisp of violet flame bloomed into existence. In but a breath, that single spark erupted into a boundless sea of fire. Thunder and flame intertwined, devouring one another, exalting one another until their fusion birthed a force far more terrifying than either alone. Wang Lin's expression darkened. The origin energy within him simply could not rival that of the old man. He could not unleash the heavenly chop in its full world-cleaving might. Just as the Huan family's ancestor had once said, were Wang Lin already at the second step, or even merely at the yin-yang stage, the power of his heavenly chop would multiply beyond imagination. His gaze sharpened. He withdrew the celestial sword and turned his eyes toward the Thunder Beast. Biting the tip of his finger, he drew forth blood, and began tracing a symbol in the void, intricate, ancient, unfathomably complex. The mark carried the weight of countless years, as though it had slumbered since time immemorial. The moment it took form, the thunder beast shuddered violently. Its massive head swung toward Wang Lin, eyes flashing with instinctive alarm. Third seal open. Wang Lin waved his hand. The blood-formed sigil pierced through layers of thunder and lightning, cutting across the storm before stamping itself upon the thunder beast's brow. The beast's colossal body trembled. Pain twisted across its features as it released a roar that shook the furnace world. From its back, a row of vicious thorns burst forth, jagged and feral, gleaming with a frigid metallic sheen. Between them, lightning coiled and shrieked, weaving a web of incandescent fury. A terrifying aura exploded into being within the furnace. It was an aura that defied the heavens themselves. If it dared defy heaven, what was a mere origin energy spell before it? The thunder beast's body swelled several-fold in an instant. The silver lightning that once coursed across its hide deepened, blackened, until it became ink-dark thunder. That black lightning carried a destructive will so pure it seemed capable of erasing existence. It surged outward in torrents from the beast's body. With another thunderous roar, the creature shot into the sky. From its maw spilled ancient, complex beast language, echoing with primordial authority. The thunder beast of the Thunder Celestial Temple trembled uncontrollably. It emerged from the furnace's side and collapsed to the ground in submission, not daring to raise its head. Before it had only sensed that the other beast was slightly stronger. Pride had emboldened it to fight. Now a terror born from the depths of its bloodline seized its soul. The being before it was no longer a rival. It was its ancestor. And before an ancestor, resistance was impossible. With the third seal released, lightning engulfed the thunder beast entirely. The black thunder expanded outward in frenzied waves, reaching its peak before erupting into a monstrous storm. A black thunderstorm swallowed the furnace. At that same moment, the celestial guard's body began to radiate golden light. The gold deepened into red, then shifted toward blazing orange. With each transformation, its power surged ever higher. Boom! The thunderstorm engulfed the entire furnace. Cracks spidered across its surface, spreading like fractures across a shattered mirror. Boom! The celestial guard's fist struck the furnace. More fissures exploded outward. The world trembled. Thunder Daoist poured origin energy into the furnace in a mad torrent. He no longer cared for the pain of depletion. Since becoming a messenger of the Thunder Celestial Temple, he had fought countless battles. Never one like this. This was life and death. Yet the speed at which his origin energy replenished the furnace could not keep pace with the combined devastation of the awakened Thunder Beast and the Celestial Guard puppet. At that critical instant, Wang Lin's eyes turned glacial. He did not retrieve the great sword. He raised a single finger and mercilessly cut downward. Heavenly chop, rumble. An indescribable explosion tore through heaven and earth. The colossal furnace exploded. Each fragment was wrapped in writhing black lightning. Before they could fall, the fragments themselves detonated again, bursting into a cascade of annihilating thunder. Wang Lin's face turned deathly pale. 2 heavenly chops had drained him to the brink. His origin energy was nearly exhausted. His cultivation trembled on the edge of collapse. Had even a sliver more been consumed, his realm might have fallen. His figure flickered. The world returned to normal. Wang Lin drew a slow breath. Though his complexion was ashen, his eyes had never been colder. Thunder Daoist's body reappeared in mid-air. He coughed violently, blood spilling from his lips, and without a backward glance, turned to flee. He was afraid. In all his years, he had never encountered such a foe. The opponent was merely a first-step cultivator, yet every spell, every treasure made his scalp go numb. And those 2 rays of sword energy. He cursed himself for not having fled sooner. The Celestial Guard puppet gave chase immediately. The Thunder Beast roared and followed closely behind. Their figures gradually vanished beyond the horizon. Silence fell. Wang Ping spoke softly. Dad, was what he said true? During the battle, Thunder Daoist had deliberately excluded Wang Ping and Qing Yi from his spell. He had not dared provoke the two rays of sword energy within Wang Ping. Wang Lin's face was terribly pale. He turned slowly to face his son. After a long silence, he nodded. Wang Ping gazed at his father and smiled faintly. It was a carefree smile, calm, unburdened. Dad, is this the real reason you never let me cultivate? Why Qing Yi and I never had a child? He paused. Because I'm already dead. Pain surfaced in Wang Lin's eyes. You are not dead, he said softly. Wang Ping shook his head, still smiling. Dad, you taught me if I meet a mountain, I climb it. If I meet a river, I cross it. Even if I meet the heavens, I walk against them. Dad, thank you. In truth, I already knew the answer long ago. I just didn't dare to face it, didn't dare confirm it. Why I cannot cultivate, why I cannot leave behind an heir, why in more than 70 years I have never fallen ill, never truly felt fatigue, why I can sense my end approaching while my body feels nothing at all. I understand now. He looked at Wang Lin. His smile remained carefree, yet within it lingered a trace of reluctance. Dad, I Wang Ping have no mother, only a father. Thank you for accompanying me. His eyes grew moist, but no tears fell. So I don't even have tears, he murmured bitterly. Dad, take care. Pinger failed to keep his promise of accompanying you for generations. The sorrow in Wang Lin's gaze deepened unbearably. After Liu Mei had handed Wang Ping to him, he had fed him medicine used thunder to nurture his body. Yet in the end, he discovered that Wang Ping had died long, long ago. A mortal's life was short. A resentful spirit's existence was shorter still. What remained was merely a fragment of soul, wrapped in resentment, unable to enter reincarnation. That was the true nature of a resentful spirit. What Liu Mei had given him was his son's soul fragment. It could not cultivate. If it attempted to, the resentment would awaken and scatter it entirely. Wang Ping could not secretly cultivate, for his body itself was formed of sword energy. One strand shaped flesh, one strand guarded the soul. That was Wang Ping. More than 70 years of growth, all sustained by Wang Lin's celestial spell. Wang Lin whispered, your promise will come true. Believe me. Wang Ping held Qing Yi's hand. Dad, let Qing Yi go. He turned to her, eyes tender. If there is an afterlife, if I reincarnate, I will come find you, Qing Yi. Tears streamed down her face. She opened her mouth to speak, but Wang Ping gently shook his head. He looked toward the sky. Dad, Qing Yi, I'm leaving. His eyes brimmed with longing. He wanted to remain, to accompany Qing Yi, to stay by his father's side, forever. In a haze he seemed to return to childhood. In that mountain village, 19 years of quiet life, drinking bitter medicine. Dad, the medicine is very bitter. He saw his father dispersing resentment from his body night after night. He realized now the medicine had never nourished his body. It nourished his soul. Because his body could not absorb medicine, he glimpsed his own form, a ray of golden sword energy, and another golden ray coiled protectively around his soul. No wonder. I always dreamed of a golden world. Wang Ping closed his eyes. Golden light blossomed from his body. His form dissolved into a strand of sword energy that hovered beside Wang Lin. Then a second strand appeared. All that remained was a small ball of white light floating silently in the air. Within it a single black thread writhed. The final sliver of resentment. Wang Lin stared at the white light for a long, long time. He raised his hand. Gently, he wiped across it. The black thread vanished. After one cycle of reincarnation, all of his child's resentment had finally dispersed. Tears streamed from Wang Lin's eyes as he cradled the ball of light as though holding the infant from years past. The wind rose. The light began to scatter, but Wang Lin did not release it. He knew if he let go, the purified Wang Ping would return to the cycle of reincarnation. Pinger, he whispered, voice trembling, your promise will come true. He pressed the ball of light between his brows. It entered the heaven-defying bead, and rested beside Li Muan's nascent soul. From now on, your mother is one Wang Lin turned and walked into the distance. Dad. Qingyi fell to her knees. The sorrow in her eyes rivaled Wang Lin's own. Dad, she said through tears, I made a promise with Wang Ping. Even in the afterlife, I will accompany him. Take me with you even as a soul fragment. I will go anywhere as long as I can be by his side. Dad, you were the one who told me to always accompany Wang Ping. You won't regret it. No regrets. Wang Lin departed, and with him Qingyi's soul without hesitation, without regret. Beneath the setting sun, his aged body began to change. Grey hair darkened to black, his bent back straightened. The Wang Lin of 70 years past walked slowly toward the void. A cycle of reincarnation had ended. Not far away, the thunder beast still lay sprawled upon the cold void, its massive body trembling without control. Only after it saw Wang Lin's figure vanish into the emptiness did it hesitate. Then, lowering its head, it followed. Within the boundless void, Wang Lin's black hair drifted without wind. There was neither joy nor sorrow in his eyes. It was as if he had seen through the illusions of the world, through life and death, through reunion and parting. Wang Ping was not the only one who had completed a cycle of reincarnation. Wang Lin had as well. His cultivation had broken past the early stage of Ascendant and stepped into the mid-stage. His domain, too, had advanced, reaching the late stage of Ascendant during this karmic turning. With sufficient celestial jades, he was confident he could step fully into the late stage of Ascendant and stand as a true powerhouse beneath the heavens. When facing yin-yang cultivators, I can defeat those at the illusory yin stage, but every battle is arduous, and each one consumes precious origin energy. My origin energy has already reached its lowest threshold. Not a single strand can be squandered. As for corporeal yang cultivators, I am no match. If I encounter one, I must flee without hesitation. He pondered silently as he stepped forward, piercing the atmosphere and charging into the sea of stars. Behind him, the thunder beast of the Thunder Celestial Temple followed at a distance, not daring to approach too closely. The gulf between the first step and the second step is indeed a chasm difficult to cross. Even if I reach the late stage of Ascendant without origin energy, I still cannot contend with yin-yang cultivators. But how does one obtain origin energy? His eyes flickered with thought. The urgent matters now are celestial jades, and a method to replenish origin energy. A decisive light ignited within his gaze. He slapped his bag of holding. The star compass flew forth, radiating silver brilliance. Wang Lin stepped upon it and streaked across the cosmos like a silver rainbow. The thunder beast behind him started in alarm, then transformed into a bolt of lightning and chased after him. Wang Lin already knew. He did not slow. Before long, the coldness in his eyes deepened. Explosions echoed from ahead. In the distance, Thunder Daoist was in a wretched state. Lightning crackled in his hand as he fought the celestial guard puppet, yet he was driven back repeatedly. Behind him, the Thunder Beast, with its third seal released, roared and lunged with savage fury. Its horn flashed, unleashing torrents of black lightning that forced Thunder Daoist into frantic evasions. His face was pale despair creeping into his expression. Then, he saw the silver streak in the distance. When he recognized Wang Lin, the despair in his eyes deepened into something darker. He had already expended most of his origin energy. To use more would mean the collapse of his cultivation base, his dream of stepping into the corporeal yang stage forever, shattered. And those two rays of sword energy, they haunted him like a nightmare. Wang Lin's gaze was ice. This man had to die. As a messenger of the Thunder Celestial Temple, if he escaped, the future would bring endless calamities. Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding. 7 treasured swords flew forth, forming the 7-star sword formation. They whistled through the void toward Thunder Daoist. The celestial guard puppet glowed orange and hurled a punch that forced Thunder Daoist back. The horn of the awakened Thunder Beast flared with sizzling thunder, sending a bolt crashing toward Thunder Daoist's back. Thunder Daoist's expression darkened. All along the way, he had been harried like this beast and puppet, pressing him relentlessly, denying him any chance to escape at full speed. Though he could traverse space without the Thunder Beast, his speed was far inferior. Now the seven-star sword formation arrived and encircled him. Sword energy shrieked toward his body. Thunder Daoist crushed a jade slip in his hand. Thunder and lightning burst outward, forming a barrier around him. The seven swords slammed into it. Explosions detonated in succession. The thunder barrier trembled violently. Inside it, Thunder Daoist stared at Wang Lin and said urgently, "Fellow cultivator Shu, I admit I was reckless, but must you drive this to extinction? I am a messenger of the Thunder Celestial Temple. If you kill me, you will find no foothold in the All-Heaven star system." Wang Lin's voice was cold as frost. "If I don't kill you, I will still find no foothold." He slapped his bag once more. The 1 billion soul flag unfurled. 30 feet wide, it billowed in the void, ghostly wails spilling forth like the lament of 10,000 lost spirits, shaking even the origin soul. With a single shake, soul fragments surged out. Not merely soul transformation fragments. Among them were ascendant souls. After the fourth soul's return, though the count had not yet reached 1 billion, its current might far surpass its power upon planet Suzaku. There were simply too many powerful souls within. Countless fragments filled the void. Then they fused. 3 ultimate primary souls were born. The first, a colossal black Qilin eyes blazing with ferocity. The second, a towering black giant 30 feet tall, radiating dense soul energy capable of shaking the spirit itself. The third, a slender black needle, nearly invisible, elusive even to divine sense. Its core was the mysterious fourth soul. These were the pinnacle of the soul flag's current power. "Kill," Wang Lin commanded. The 3 ultimate primary souls surged forward. They joined the Celestial Guard, the Thunder Beast, and the 7-star sword formation, hammering against the thunder barrier. Thunder Daoist's pupils shrank. His face drained of color. Once the barrier shattered, he would not survive even a few breaths. "Shumao, don't force me." He roared, eyes bloodshot. "Every messenger of the Thunder Celestial Temple possesses a life-saving spell. At worst, I will burn my lifespan." His heart was bitter. Without sufficient origin energy, that spell would devour his life force. His cultivation would collapse to soul transformation. And worse, he had no confidence it would even wound Wang Lin. Those 2 sword energies. If he used the life-saving spell, he feared the only path left would still be death. Wang Lin's eyes were calm. "It was you who forced me." Thunder Daoist gritted his teeth. "There is no irreconcilable hatred between us. What must I do for you to spare me?" Wang Lin pondered briefly, then spoke. "Recognize me as your master. Allow me to leave an imprint upon you." Thunder Daoist's heart churned with venom. This man's cultivation was not above his own. Even if enslaved, it would not last long. Once his origin energy recovered, he would break the restriction escape and report to the Thunder Celestial Temple. Then they would hunt Shu Mu to the ends of the stars. Yet the barrier was collapsing. He clenched his teeth. "Fine, I agree." "Open the barrier," Wang Lin said calmly. Thunder Daoist hesitated, then waved his hand. The barrier vanished. The 7-star sword formation hovered inches away. The Celestial Guard's fist halted 3 inches from his chest. The Thunder Beast's eyes crackled with hostile lightning. The 3 ultimate primary souls circled like vultures. Wang Lin's gaze gleamed with mystery. He summoned the restriction flag. Golden restrictions poured forth, forming a luminous formation before him. With a seal of his hand, it flew into Thunder Daoist's brow. It penetrated his body and wrapped around his origin soul, melting into a golden net. Thunder Daoist sneered inwardly. No restriction could withstand origin energy. Once he recovered, he would shatter it. "This is only the first step," Wang Lin said. "There is a second." He stepped onto the star compass and flew toward a distant grey planet. Thunder Daoist followed, forced by circumstance. The Thunder Beast of the temple hesitated, then attempted to flee. Wang Lin's cold snort echoed through space. The beast trembled and dared not escape. The grey planet was barren, no spiritual energy, no life. Storms raged across its surface, toxic winds scouring dead earth. Wang Lin descended. His foot stomped. The ground split, forming a ravine. With a gesture, sword energy carved a cavern within. Moments later, a vast cave stood, completed 4 chambers and a central hall. Sword intent lingered along its walls. Inside, Wang Lin turned to Thunder Daoist. After the second restriction, he said calmly, "I will not kill you." Thunder Daoist nodded after long silence. Wang Lin sat in lotus position. Restrictions flowed from his hands and settled upon Thunder Daoist. "When I place my imprint, do not resist." Thunder Daoist closed his eyes, sneering inwardly. Wang Lin's eyes darkened. In truth, only by refining this man into a celestial god would he feel secure. Thunder Daoist met every requirement. With the Thunder Beast as auxiliary material, the success rate would increase greatly. And even if it failed, he would lose nothing. Wang Lin spat a mouthful of origin energy. It transformed into countless symbols, falling upon Thunder Daoist's body. Thunder Daoist opened his eyes briefly, then closed them again. He allowed the energy to enter. In that very instant, Wang Lin's eyes flashed. He summoned the Soul Lasher. Without warning, he struck. "What are you doing?" Thunder Daoist roared. Too late. The whip fell, not once, but 6 times in a single breath. Thunder Daoist's body trembled violently. His face turned ashen, eyes dimming. His origin soul was blasted 7 feet out of his body. Before he could retaliate, the celestial guard stepped forward. The Thunder Beast roared. The 3 ultimate primary souls shrieked. The 7-star sword formation fused into one blade and slashed downward. The 7 evil beasts within roared in unison, blocking his return. Above his displaced origin soul, the golden restriction had transformed into a crackling lightning net. It trapped him completely. That's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much.